All right, back for another deep dive, right? We're diving into some serious literature today.
Oh, yeah, get right into it.
You guys know how this works by now. We get some fascinating stuff to look at, break it down, and you leave feeling like you could write a dissertation, that whole deal. Remember Hooked from the first line?
Yeah.
Where we've been looking at, those killer opening lines.
Right.
Well, today, another classic is Joining the Club. I bet some of you already know what's coming.
Probably a good number, I'd guess.
Richard Wright.
Black Boy.
Black Boy. Classic. Definitely up there for one of those lines that just stick with you.
It really is something else, It's like so simple on the surface, but...
There's always more, right?
Yeah.
With these great writers, always layers.
Exactly. Okay, so for anyone who might not have it memorized, here it is, the opening line. One winter morning, in the long ago, 4-year-old days of my life, I found myself standing before a fireplace, warming my hands over a blaze of burning straws. What do you think? I mean, does it grab you? Does it pull you in? Oh, it definitely sets a tone, that's for sure.
How so?
Well, think about it. Long ago, 4-year-old days, it's like instant childhood. You're right there remembering things. Reflection,
I get that. Like a kind of instant nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's this hint. Like something's not quite right. It's not all sunshine and roses this long ago.
What gets me is the juxtaposition, I guess. Cozy fireplace, but then burning straws.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't exactly scream comfortable life. More like struggling to get by.
Absolutely. That's right for you, though. He's not just painting a picture. It's sensory, right? You can feel that heat. You can feel that desperation, that poverty.
And it's there from the first line. It's like, boom, this is what you're getting into.
Oh, for sure. And that struggle, it's not going away. It runs through the whole book. That need to survive when society's not exactly handing you what you need. Especially when you look like the narrator,
We can't forget how young he is here. 4. It just adds to that feeling.
Oh, totally. Like, what kind of world is this kid growing up in?
Exactly. What's going to happen to him? What's he going to see?
It's brilliant, honestly. Wright throws you right into that vulnerability, that innocence. It's not going to last.
Yeah, it's like there's this shadow hanging over everything.
Exactly. That innocence is going to be tested, shattered even, by all the things he faces. Racism, poverty, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so we've got nostalgia, we've got hardship, we've got this feeling of like impending doom almost. And that's just one sentence.
I know, right?
But what's also interesting to me is the writing itself, how he says it all. What do you think about Wright's style here?
It's funny because it seems so simple, right?
It's very straightforward.
Totally. But there's this rhythm to it, like poetry almost. I don't know, reminds me of like blues song or something. Sad but strong at the same time.
That's a great comparison.
And it's like that throughout the whole book. Raw, honest, hits you right in the feels.
Yeah, it's not showy, but it just draws you in. You have to know what happens next. Like, how does this scene, warming his hands, how does that connect to everything else, to his whole life? So, final verdict time. Does this opening line deliver? Is it hooked from the first line worthy?
Definitely. Absolutely hooked. It sets up this incredibly powerful story. Survival, identity, figuring out who you are when the world's trying to tell you who you should be. I mean, it's all right there in that opening.
So for all you listeners, if you're about to crack open Black Boy.
Or even if you've read it before.
Exactly. Pay attention to how that opening line keeps popping up, how that image sticks with you. That fire, those burning straws. It all means something. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep reading.
Keep those pages turning.